At the point where Europe and Asia collide, it is Turkey's transcontinental culture clash, its east-west spice mix of influences, flavors, cultures, religions, and histories that makes this country so intoxicating. This is a land of sensorial richness, in its bazaars and mosques, its food and arts, of exoticism and romance, from its Ottoman palaces to fairy tale Cappadocia. Its beauty spots are equally diverse. Inland, there are otherworldly landscapes and ancient wonders to be explored, once the playgrounds of Cleopatra and Mark Antony, Caesar and Alexander the Great, and yet they are little visited compared with similar sites in Italy and Greece. In summer, Turkey's exceptionally beautiful Turquoise Coast is plied by gulets sailing on their Blue Voyages from the Aegean to the eastern reaches of the Mediterranean, dropping anchor to swim in bays of crystal-clear water and taking long lunches in fishing villages at blue-painted tables and chairs framed with canopies of pink bougainvillaea, where life has gone on unchanged for thousands of years. To help you find these spots, we've rounded up the most beautiful places to visit in Turkey. Number 12. Sumela Monastery. Far from the tourist hotspots dotted along Turkey's southern coast, in the often overlooked northeastern reach of the country, sits the city of Trabzon. Thanks to its position along the ancient Silk Road, it's a melting pot of cultures, religions, and customs, and several civilizations have left their mark over the past 3 millennia. One of the most iconic attractions is Sumela Monastery, a religious site founded in the 4th century during the reign of Emperor Theodosius. Reach the cliff-face monastery via winding paths and stone steps through the forest below and marvel at the 13th century structure, restored with funds granted by the government of Turkey ahead of its reopening as a public museum and pilgrimage site in 2019. Number 11. Lake Salda. Lake Salda's white sand beaches, crystal-clear water, and tranquil setting have led those lucky enough to visit its picturesque shores to declare it the Maldives of Turkey. However, you'll find no mega-resorts here, just peaceful, out-of-the-way spots perfect for a dip. It lies around 2.5 hours from the popular tourist resorts of Fethi to the southwest and Antalya to the southeast, meaning only the most dedicated international visitors commit to the 5-hour round trip during the scorching summer months. The hydromagnesite minerals found here are beneficial for several dermatological conditions, making it one of the best natural spas in Turkey. Make the most of the hiking trails through the black pine forests and check into one of the basic but super affordable hotels in nearby Yesilova. Number 10. Edirne. Once the capital of the Ottoman Empire, Edirne's grand past is visible everywhere, as fantastic old imperial buildings, palaces, and mosques are scattered around. The Selimiye Mosque, for instance, is a must-see in this delightful city, and the old quarter is lovely to wander around. Due to its strategic location and its proximity to Greece and Bulgaria, Edirne has a European feel about it, and there is lots of delicious cuisine on offer. A great time to visit is in summer, when the traditional oil wrestling festival takes place. Number 9. Antalya. Nestled along the beautiful Turkish Riviera on the Mediterranean coastline, Antalya is a vibrant city welcoming tourists with numerous resorts, bars, and restaurants. Spectacular scenery frames the city with gorgeous beaches and lush green mountains dotted with ancient ruins. From swimming and sailing to mountain climbing and sightseeing, Antalya offers something for everyone. A walk around the Old Quarter offers a step back into the city's ancient past with views of the old city walls, Roman gates, and maze-like streets. Number 8. Butterfly Valley, Fethi. One of the greatest rewards for walkers on the Lishan Way is the spectacular view as you pass above Butterfly Valley, a jag of cove sheared out of the land, colossal cliffs rising sheer and scrubby either side of the narrow blue bay, fading to turquoise at the shore. On the toenail of sand and pebble beach at the foot of it, accessible only by boat, there's a campsite with a beach bar serving beers and grilled fish, and yoga classes are held beneath the trees. Heading inland, the valley leads through lush greenery and waterfalls, and in springtime is filled with 100 species of butterfly. Take an organized boat trip from one of the prettiest resorts along the peninsula to Butterfly Valley. Yas Collective is ideal for a chic, back-to-nature beach club vibe, where DJs soundtrack weekends as super yachts pull up in the distance. Number 7. Dalyan. Despite its small size, Dalyan has a few claims to fame. Hordes of sun worshippers head to the beautiful sands of Istanbul beach during the summer months. However, tourists must vacate by 8 p.m. as it's one of the Mediterranean's prime sites for nesting loggerhead turtles. The international press picked up whispers of major development in the early 1980s, and the subsequent battles against it by conservationists led the government to grant the beach Special Environmental Protection Area status in 1988. Further inland, diners gaze up at the majestic 2,000-year-old lichen tombs from riverbank restaurants illuminated by fairy lights and clear night skies. See them in 2 different lights by embarking on a boat trip from the heart of the town out to sea, and watch how the color of the water changes in a sudden flash. Number 6. Pamukkale. The mineral springs that have cascaded down the hillside for thousands of years have created this extraordinary sight. Pamukkale means cotton castle. In Turkey's Bayuk Menderes Valley, the series of natural pools of pale Odinil water, cupped in shallow, organic-shaped basins of gleaming white travertine, are terraced into the hillside, overspilling with the mineral-rich spring water that formed them and which appears to have frozen in time in petrified waterfalls, stalactites of limestone like wedding cake icing dripping down the hillside. The spectacle gets busy with tourists, but often overlooked are the ancient ruins of the Greco-Roman spa town Hierapolis, built at the very top of the site, around the healing springs. Here you can bathe in Cleopatra's very own hot bath, said to have been a gift from Mark Antony. Once covered by the Roman temple of Apollo, the Doric columns now lie in the water, and the pool is flanked with flowers. Number 5. Mardin. Perched on a strategic hilltop overlooking the plains of Mesopotamia in southeastern Turkey, Mardin is one of the oldest settlements in the region. Mardin is best known for its old city of sandstone buildings that cascade down the hill. The maze of meandering streets in the old city leads visitors along terraced houses, mosques, churches, and mansions. Many boutique hotels, fashioned from the charming old buildings, have opened in recent years, along with a few upmarket hotels. Number 4. Bodrum. Located in the southern Aegean region of Turkey, Bodrum was once home to the Mausoleum, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Today, its intriguing ruins, stunning beaches, and cliff-top resorts attract people from all over the world. No visit to Bodrum would be complete without seeing Bodrum Castle. Built from 1402 by the Knights of St. John, it now operates as a museum. On Bodrum's eastern side, tourists will find a beautiful beach overlooking brilliant blue water. On the western side of town is the marina, shops, and restaurants. Number 3. Ephesus. Turkey has a great number of ancient sites, most far less visited than similar sites in Italy and Greece. And Ephesus, now UNESCO protected, is arguably the grandest of them all. The Temple of Artemis, which stood in the ancient city of Ephesus, was one of the original 7 wonders of the world. Little remains of it now, but the remains of Ephesus are wondrous nonetheless. Set back from the Aegean coast, the settlement began 9,000 years ago. They're Roman, Christian, Ottoman, Hellenistic, and Greek monuments, colonnaded streets, temples, a huge amphitheater, the Celsus Library, whose carved facade still stands today, archways framing the blue Mediterranean sky. Number 2. Cappadocia. High on the Anatolian plateau, the curious landscapes of Cappadocia resemble a fantasy world. Honey-colored rocks have eroded into sculptural forms resembling minarets, magic mushrooms, and what have become known as fairy chimneys, while underground, settlers since the Bronze Age have been busy carving out cave houses, churches, and monasteries from the soft volcanic rock, even entire subterranean cities. The thing to do is take a hot air balloon ride at sunrise or sunset. Alternatively, see it on horseback or two wheels, or watch the spectacle from the terrace of your cave hotel in the town of Gorim as hundreds of balloons drift overhead and the low sun casts apricot light on this extraordinary land. One of the most romantic spots on Earth. Number 1. Istanbul. Once serving as the capital of the Ottoman and Byzantine empires, Istanbul today is the largest city in Turkey and one of the largest in the world. Istanbul stretches across a narrow strait that connects Asia and Europe, making it the only city in the world spanning 2 continents. Top attractions include the Hagia Sophia, that's been a Greek Orthodox Christian basilica, then an imperial mosque and now a museum, and the 15th century Topkapi Palace, also a museum today. Get in a little shopping at the Grand Bazaar that's been in operation since 1461.